Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dani for Cupping Cakes Gourmet, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to make this tooth fairy set, including all the little envelopes and the clips and the packaging and the tooth fairy door. So I'm gonna show you guys what's inside. You can make that for your kids. You can make that for your kids' friends. You can make for sale. Just need to have in mind that you need a pretty package and a lot of love. So I gonna show you guys what's inside. We have a little letter from the tooth fairy. We have a little mailbox with a little letter. Inside the letter, you can turn around and open. You're gonna see little pencils and a letter. We also have the little magic wand, a little baggie for the tooth, a little key for the door, and of course the door itself with the little steps. We put double tape on the back of the mailbox and the door, lots of glitter, and of course a little tiny container of glitter. So then we have a little package that's for the mom, then goes to a letter for the mommy to know what to do with all those pieces. A little glitter for you to sparkle around at night. A little extra letters for every time then they lose a tooth. Little tooth receipts for you to use in the future, and extra notes. And that's the set for the tooth fairy. Is adorable, super cute. You can make for your friends, for kids. It makes so special and they love it. So let's learn it. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button to don't miss any other tutorial. And I'm using Super Sculpey for this project, basically because I needed this to be ready the next day, so I didn't want to wait for clay to dry. But you can use this with any clay, just wait to be ready. The Super Sculpey is great because you can put it in the oven and it's ready for you to paint after 15 minutes. So that's why I choose that. So I'm gonna open the clay and I'm just gonna set up the basic shape for the door. I want my door to be rounded at the top. You can make a more traditional door or this triangle roof too. That would depend on you, but I think like for a tooth fairy should be a little bit more organic. And now I use a cookie cutter, like a square one, and now I'm just making triangles for the details of the door. Cool of Super Sculpey is that you can work the clay over and over again and it's not gonna dry. You're gonna have time to make any details you want because this is not air dry clay. If you're not familiar, it's just gonna dry when we bake it, so you have time to make anything. So I am going to put 4 squares, actually 4 rectangles, and or 2 squares. Then I share at a cut in the middle, and that's it, the little details from the door. And now we are going to put up and down with those little details, just a line like a snake, just to give even more character. So here we go, we have all that door, and I'm making with the cookie cutter a heart. You can cut it out the heart, but sometimes you have the kids asking why is nothing there, but I prefer just to mark. And now I made a long snake, and I'm gonna curl this to make the detail on the top of the door. So we're gonna make kind of like a S. Get it one side and you roll, and then just be sure then they are the same. And we're gonna place in each side at the top of the door and curl the rest. The same thing to the other side. Now I am opening a little bit of clay and we're gonna make a little tooth. Just open like 2 legs and make the top a little square. Super simple. And we're gonna place right up there. I like to place my door on the wood because the wood can go to the oven, so you can finish the details and stop moving that door around. And now I made 4 planks, little ones, in a rectangle shape for the steps. And ends just use 3 for the size of my baseboard, but you can use as many as you want. Just make that little lines for the wood and 4 holes in each one of them. Now you can see that when anything is straight, I'm just going over and making lines to separate and give a little bit more detail as the wood's separation at the door. Just some details. If you don't want your door to be wood or to have like this detail, you totally can just don't do it. And now we're gonna bake. Follow the instructions of your clay. Mine was like 15 minutes at 200 and something, but look at the back of your package and you're gonna know exactly what you need. I put a G for on my heart because I knew for who I was making. So just if you don't know or you're making for sale, just don't put any letter or something like that. I started the white covering everything just to give me a base, and now I'm gonna use pink. I'm gonna go over back and forth with the pink and the white because I want the top part of the door be a little bit lighter and the like a gradients to the bottom, and the outside curlies and the outside baseboard's gonna be all dark pink. And that's how we're gonna do it. I am going to speed up this process, but take your time, give a little detail and a little gradients on the shades because it looks pretty cool in the end. And I'm using acrylic paints, pretty basic, pretty cheap ones I got in the grocery store. So you don't need to have anything super expensive or special because it's this type of clay. And I'm gonna put it white on the tooth. I need 2 layers for that, so let it dry a little bit and then go around and cover it again. And now I made 3 little dots in each of the windows. And I overwrite inside my marks for the heart in white just to give a little pop. And again, I want my top of the door lighter than the bottom. And now I'm gonna paint the little steps. Paint it white, and then I gave a little shade in pink. And I don't know why I don't have the video, but I painted the bottom part of the steps in gold and the sides in pink. If you wonder what's that other piece there, I was making a plaque to put on the door, but I thought I was too busy, so I didn't use it. And now I'm gonna put a glue on the white of the tooth so we can glitterify this whole door, because you know you can have a tooth fairy without glitter everywhere. So I always use a paper or something underneath my piece when I'm using glitter, so I can just bang it down on the paper and put it back in the container so you don't lose all this access. So you can just open your container and just fold it and just put everything back. And the same thing I'm gonna do with the pink. I am going to place in the middle those little details at the door. And then we're gonna get the excess off, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the top curly part of the door. I just love how glitter looks. Look at that. So pretty and shiny. And now I am putting a little, door. And I put a little bow on the key, and I'm gonna just glue at that little string of the key at the door. I don't have the mailbox, the key, and the other part of the door here because this video is going to be super long. But if you want to see little mini tutorials for that, just leave me a comment down below and I will show you guys how to make them. They are super cute. You just need a little bit of shiny, of course, and put it right there in the middle of the bow. And now we have a little key. So now I'm using a little bit of ribbon. You're gonna go to the holes that we left in the steps, and each one of them with the one long string, and then you're gonna do that in every little part of the holes. So you have 4 holes. One's gonna be going straight on the bottom hole, and you got that. It's just for us to put those steps together and just give a little knot at the end, the first one, and then you can use a little crazy glue on the bottom of the other ones, just to keep them in place. I actually took one of my steps off because I was giving that to a dear little girl, my neighbor across the street. So she has the same baseboard than I have, so I measured through my baseboard to have the door on the baseboard and then the steps coming down, and 4 were too long. So in the end you're gonna see that I just use 4 steps. Just be careful with your fingers because we're trying to pass the ribbon through those little tiny holes, and you're gonna need something very pointy. Just be careful. What I like about Sculpey too, then once it's baked, it's very hard to break. If that was a normal clay, I would be worried about sticking something there without cracking everything. I made a little star and I'm putting glue on it, and then the base of the wand is just a toothpick paint in pink. And I'm just gonna go with the glue all around, and guess what? More glitter. It's super easy to make, guys. You can find Super Sculpey anywhere from Walmart to Michael's, and you can make this little door and make your kids have this memory, this fantasy, and it's amazing. I made little tiny envelopes, and actually I forgot to show the cutter I have for that, but if you want to know, I will leave down below. Try to find where you guys can see. It's just a cutter that makes those tiny things. And then I knew for who was going, so I put her name and signed by Tooth Fairy. But if you don't know, you can just pretend that's little lines, just to give even more a look as a postal letter. And I'm using a very thin pen for that. I have this little washi tape. Then I don't know why it has hearts and a lemon. Doesn't make sense for me. So I was just cutting the hearts from the tape and then placing as a postage, like a stamp. I go around my craft room and trying to find things, and this I had for so long and never use it because there's a heart and a lemon. So that's okay. And now I'm just gonna put it inside to see the space I need for the little paper, for the little letter itself. And then I'm gonna cut a bunch because I put one inside in each envelope, and I send some extra for the mummies. If you want, I also have to sell this whole set at my Etsy store. So please feel free to press the link down below if you need it for your little baby. And now I just put all the letters together and put a little tiny hair band. It's the tiny one, and then I put it there. So I put the extra with the little paper heart cut out on a clothespin. And I'm putting some hearts inside the one that goes in the box, just for the sake of being cute and thinking about the details. So now I'm gonna show you how I made that little tiny jar of glitter, and I'm gonna give you an option as well. So this is a little, if you wanna measure something liquid, that's what it is for resin. I'm using a tip for cooking, for baking, or working with cooks, cookie decoration, and I just use that as a funnel and put glitter and a little bit of clay on top of it. It's super easy, and I also place a little heart on the top just to give more details. And you can use those little tiny ones too. The glitter for nail art, I couldn't find it anywhere, so I used that one until I found it, of course, after it was done. And then we pack everything, use a little tool or a ribbon to tie a pretty package, because packages are everything. So that's what we're gonna do. If you want to learn how I made this box, I handmade that as well. You can leave me a comment and I can show you guys. I just go around on the fourth, put a little bow and the letter back on. So here it is. It's super cute, super pretty. It's gonna keep the magic in your kids and make somebody happy. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Bye.